cayó la luna, se apaga el farol.
El sufrimiento que nosotros los zapatistas estamos viviendo.
Pues el gobierno interviene en nuestras comunidades indígenas, es a través de sus proyectos económicos, tratando de dividir las comunidades y pues tratando de meter más miedo a la gente de la...
Hemos construido ya la autonomía, tenemos actividades así.
Ya no hay la desigualdad entre hombres y mujeres.
Pues nosotros luchamos por tener una libertad, tener una democracia.
Lo que estoy buscando aquí es la verdadera justicia, la verdadera paz, eso para que se viva en armonía.
Todo es mentira en este mundo, todo es mentira la verdad. Todo es mentira, yo me digo, todo es mentira, ¿por qué será? Esperando la última ola, esperando la última rola. Arriba la luna, oea.
After, before.
Arriba la luna, oea. Arriba la luna, oea. Arriba la luna, oea. Mentira lo que dicen, mentira lo que va, mentira lo que cuece bajo la oscuridad. Arriba la luna, oea. Arriba la luna, oea. Todo es mentira desde arriba la luna, todo es mentira la verdad. Arriba la luna, todo es mentira, yo me digo la luna, todo es mentira, ¿por qué será? Mentira la mentira, mentira la verdad, mentira lo que cuece.
Everyone in this town knows whether they're for Indigenous rights and for the uprising or against it. You can feel it. This is the base for starting our football tour. And why are we here?
We are here, hopefully, to go and discover about the Zapatista movement, discover a little bit about their culture, discover a little bit about ourselves, our ability to live in a hammock for 3 nights in the jungle.
Yesterday was good. We went and bought hammocks. We saw a lot of people walking around carrying their babies on their backs, like women trying to sell you friendship bracelets and stuff. But we bought about 8 hammocks, 9 hammocks. Nigel did an excellent bartering job in the market. I'm no good at that. He did fantastic.
It was just wonderful to see how many different products they make and just seeing the bartering that goes on. I'm expecting to get a lot from this trip, just by seeing how other people live, understanding it, and seeing, I don't know, just seeing how we can help other people. It's not just all about us. You know, there's a bigger picture out there. And I hope that they get a lot from us coming there to play football and show solidarity.
1,000 communities rose up in 1994 against the Mexican government, and it's now 2,000 in the Zapatista movement, struggling for essentially indigenous rights, that is the right to govern themselves on the communal lands that used to belong to their Mayan ancestors, the right to be educated in their own language, roads, basic amenities. They want autonomy within Mexico.
Hombres, niños y mujeres, el esfuerzo siempre haremos, campesino y los obreros, siempre juntos con el pueblo.
So here we are in an autonomous Zapatista community. a visiting football team from Yorkshire.
When we first got here, we tried the getting in the hammock thing, and that was easy because you weren't in a sleeping bag. And you tie your legs together and put your arms in a sleeping bag and then jump in a hammock. It's a different kettle of fish. One thing that surprised me when we got here was they got taps in the community, in the middle of the community.
And electricity?
And electricity, I didn't think...
Oh, except we haven't got electricity in our room because Nigel electrocuted himself.
True, yeah. 2 live wires.
When I was setting up my hammock on the first day, I got an electric shock off that. So we assumed it was just a bare wire and we taped it up. But, nope, that's the light switch, so we had to untape it. So this is the kitchen for any international visitors or Zapatista. The Zapatista are international observers who live here all year round. They come out here to be with the communities and to be an international presence and check out that no atrocities are happening and report back and be witnesses. And the theory is that the army, etc., will be less liable to commit the sort of atrocities they have in the past if there are international observers here.
Tasty.
The first evening we arrived, they brought a sheet and they hung it from one of the hooks. And they showed this Zapatista march, which took place in January of this year. And then we watched a film, Gladiators. Not seen that before. It was good.
It was just really surreal, like stood there in the middle of the jungle with all the noises of the monkeys and everything in the background, and then you're there, like watching Gladiator. It was really surreal.
It's actually nice to sit here and just absorb what's going on around you.
They turned the water supply off during the evening at about 9 o'clock, and they forgot to do it because they were so busy watching the film last night. Whoever's in charge of turning the water system off didn't, and therefore we don't have any running water today, which could be interesting later after a game of 90 minutes football against them.
And we're going to smell. Yeah.
So, the football pitch. The football pitch bounded by the lethal ditch. That marks the sideline on one side. It's a pitch of 2 halves. This half's a bit bumpy and lethal. Not sure if that's better for attackers or defenders. Probably better for defenders, actually, because the attackers can't judge the bounce. That half's nice and smooth. I like playing in that half of the pitch. And then there's a bit of a dip down there, which you can't really do anything in. No point even bothering with throw-ins down in that side. You might as well just give the ball to the opposition.
There's a team of Mexicans over there kicking the ball around. They are fit.
And they don't seem to be affected by the weather. They wanted to know, like, if we were playing, and they found it highly amusing that, first of all, that women were playing, and second of all, the captain was female.
The pitch is very difficult to play on. There's no chance of really playing any sort of football, flowing Brazilian-style football that we were hoping to come here and play.
There's chickens running around the pitch, wood everywhere, and the sort of sideline is a 3-foot trench.
Ankle-breaking size, I'd like to call it. And lots of people sat just in front of that ditch, so if you actually hit the ditch, you've got to avoid a few people with a very gymnastic effort over the top forward roll in order to avoid breaking any bones.
We're a bit freaked out by the heat.
It's extremely hot. It's like we're just used to playing in the snow and the rain, really. We're not used to playing in this heat. So it has slowed us all down, and everyone seems to be knackered, and everyone runs for the shade as soon as the match is over to prepare for the next game.
I just had trouble kind of standing up, never mind running around.
We've already got one man down with either dehydration or heat exhaustion. I've got heat exhaustion and I was watching.
And you think, oh, I'm feeling fit and up for a game. I've just watched the game where all the locals have been running around like mad, and we can do that too. Now we can show them our silky skills. And you just get out there and you can't do anything. You just cannot move into position in time. You've got to get used to that.
I've just got to decide the final team list. I'm having a nightmare.
I've never actually played 11-a-side goalkeeper before, and it's very difficult judging the bounce and the flight of the ball, given that the ball's very light in itself and the conditions are obviously very humid. It's very tough. I shall be less tough on goalkeepers in the future, having experienced it for myself.
The Mexicans are very pacey, very, very quick, but they do tend to play long ball. They just try and kick it over. If you can hold them up, they don't tend to fall over, the Mexicans.
No.
I've tried a few times to just push them and knock them over, but they don't.
Not the sort of men you want, are they?
No, they're a bit like them.
Never go down.
Ahí vienen los insurgentes milicianos repartiendo la comida, las tostadas y el atún. El 17.
I've seen quite a nice surprise today. We've won a game. Yay!
Nigel clearly has found himself a new niche as the stunning striker of the team, with a goal from about 35 yards out, which amazed us all. Yesterday was a defender.
Rich Kirk's just asked me, was it a shot or a cross? Was it a shot or a cross? Of course it was a shot. He said he didn't look up. I said, of course I didn't look up, I know where the goals are. So, 1-0, early lead against Los Principes, who I heard them muttering, come on, we can't lose to a team with girls in, and they were really going for it, and they lost to a team with girls in. And
apparently they'll never live that down.
Come on!
It's important that we're in. I don't think it's what we came for. I think at the end of the day, the important bit's going to come with the ceremony of like giving all the prizes away and all the things that we brought over.
Han estado muy amables, gracias por dejarnos quedar aquí. Tenemos mucho respeto para la lucha y para la manera en que jugaron el fútbol.
for all of us, this has been just an amazing experience. The people here have been so hospitable, so welcoming. Football is something that we have in common. If you just pass through here as a tourist, not that you would, not that tourists would come down here, I mean, you wouldn't have any common ground with the people, to talk to the people and find out about their struggle and about what the Mexican government's been doing to them. You know, conversations wouldn't start, they wouldn't trust you. It's wonderful to have a reason to connect with people. It's not just playing the football, it's organising the tournament, agreeing how long the matches are going to be, refereeing matches for different teams. So you meet people from the different teams and you get talking. Even those of us who don't speak much Spanish have started to talk through interpreters and find out a bit about what goes on here, which no lecture could ever give you, really.
Nosotros como zapatistas pues vemos que es muy importante la presencia de ustedes como observadores, ¿no? A las comunidades zapatistas, donde ustedes se dan cuenta el maltrato y ven la realidad de los pueblos que están sufriendo.